fertility rate. Greece's fertility rate is famously below replacement level and has been for decades. And to put it crassly, this means that just more people die than are being born. To be exact, the fertility rate is around 1.3 to 1.4 per woman versus a replacement level being 2.1. Now, why has this been happening? Well, first off, for nearly 20 years, Greece has suffered from economic instability. During the 2008 financial crisis and the subsequent years, there was high unemployment, reduced wages, and austerity measures. And young couples tend to delay or forego having children if they don't have assurance of financial security. Second point, the cost of childcare is high relative to the wages in Greece. So if couples do decide to have children, they are restricted by this cost and plan their family accordingly. 3, urbanization and centralization in Athens specifically, and in other bigger cities to a lesser extent. Big cities generally have lower birth rates because of the practical complications and expense of raising large families in confined areas with an unsupportive infrastructure. Now, if close to 40% of your population lives in Athens, there's your biggest problem right there. This is grossly untenable for many reasons. With a population decline, rural areas, think countryside, but especially borders and islands, are hit the hardest. So now population decline also becomes an issue of national security. And without populations on the borders, a number of very obvious and dangerous problems emerge for the country. 4, global social trends. Higher rates in education mean that people get married and start their families later in life, especially when they want to live in urban settings, which takes us back to point 3 about urbanization. Point 5, the brain drain. Greece has seen waves of generational immigration. And since the financial crisis, educated professionals, around 5% of the population, left for other European countries, the US, and other places. And one of the many problems with this is not only losing the educated elite, and you're losing these potentially innovative minds who often find great success and make significant impacts in their new host countries, but let's talk about the sunk cost factor. Greece invests in education of professionals. So for example, think doctors who go to Greece for med school and therefore are an expense on Greece's stressed educational system. And then they move to Germany or the UK, let's say, and they're employed there as doctors. So now Germany or England receives an educated and trained doctor at no cost, whereas Greece has invested in the education of a doctor who is then essentially exported, leaving Greece with no benefit, only the sunk cost. And of course, this is spread across sectors. Think engineers, computer science, the humanities. All of these skilled workers leave Greece, with Greece footing the education bill. Now their absence depletes the workforce and the tax base.